Yo, and this is Talk for Glory, episode 95. Happy holidays, everyone. Welcome to the new year. It is 2022. 2021 was actually pretty interesting. It was a pretty interesting year, guys, especially for wrestling. Now, I know some of you guys saw day one yesterday. You guys let me know on Twitter or anywhere you guys can contact me if you would like a review on that. But 2021 was a great year, guys. It was a great year for two in particular wrestlers. We started doing the Superstar of the Year back in 2019. Now, we never did a video on these. What we did were tweets. We did them on Twitter. So for you guys that are new to Talk for Glory, I'm sorry. I got to get into my introductions. I'm going to be before. Normally, there's two people here. Young Smooth will be with us in one of the videos. But for right now, this is my Superstars of 2021. Sorry, guys, lost my train of thought. I normally like diving into these videos. And I don't really think about it. Me and Young Smooth have said in the past that we don't do scripts about this. This is one of the results of not doing a script. We just fly into these. But back to what I was saying, we normally do these Superstars of the Year. To give you guys a little recap, 2019 Superstars of the Year were Adam Cole and Shayna Baszler. 2020 was Io Shirai and Drew McIntyre. And 2021 this person is our first non-WWE women's wrestler to be ranked number one. This person, it was a tie between this person and Dr. DMD Britt Baker, also AEW Women's Champion. For you guys that don't know about her, I just did a video on her company, Stardom Pro Wrestling. For our women's 2021 Women's Best Wrestler of the Year, it is the Red Queen. I want to say at this point, the leader of Queen's Quest. One more accomplishment. Now the former World of Stardom champion, Utami Hayashida. How did she get to rank number one for Talk for Glory? I got into Stardom wrestling in literally the first week of 2020. For anyone that doesn't already know, I'm already a big... Sorry about that, guys. There we go. So, for any of you guys that don't already know, I'm a big Bea Priestley fan. And she was originally in Queen's Quest. So I got to see a lot of the other members of Queen's Quest due to Bea Priestley, or now known as Blair Davenport. I know the name sucks, guys. Trust me, I hate it too. So I got to know people like Watanabe Momo, Azumi, Saya Kamitani. Sorry, guys, if I butcher the name. Someone correct me if I butchered it horribly. And I especially got to know our Red Queen, Utami. There are a couple matches that I love from Utami. One being her versus Momo, her versus Bea Priestley. Now, another match I enjoy of hers, honestly, it got overhyped. But Utami versus Shuri, what made that match really good was it was immediately a week or a day after Triple H had said that he had the best women's roster, and then Utami and Shuri put on a classic of a match. Everyone's talking about it, but so many much more eyes on Stardom. And honestly, it made me more of a fan of Shuri's faction, DDM, or as I like to say, for anyone that watches New Japan, I like to say the female version of LIJ, Los Ingobernables. But yeah, Utami's had really good matches. She had a 400-plus day reign. Unfortunately, it came to an end at Wrestle Dream Queendom. For you guys that haven't seen Utami vs. Shuri Part 3, I highly recommend it. Some people actually compare it to Okada and Kenny Part 4. due to the no time limit, no anything, these guys just went at it. Well, these women just went at it for such a long time. But congratulations to Tommy for becoming our ranked one for Talk for Glory. To talk about the runner-up, Dr. Britt Baker, she didn't get the number one spot for Best Women's Wrestler, but she did get Best Women's Match of the Year, being with Thunder Rosa in her unsanctioned Lights Out St. Patrick's Day street fight. If you guys haven't seen that match, I loved it. It actually made me a huge fan of Thunder Rosa more than I ever was before. And if you guys don't like Britt Baker, watch that match. That match will most likely, without a shadow of a doubt, make you a Britt Baker fan. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, guys. So that was me talking about the Red Queen, Utami. Now time to talk about the male number one. Before I get into the male number one, I want to say that there were actually 3 other people in contention. One being the Commonwealth Kingpin, Will Ospreay, winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship from Kota Ibushi in 2020. What kind of stopped him from reaching number one was his neck injury. Now, he's still the unpinned, unsubmitted, undefeated IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, but he's not ranked number one for Talk for Glory. Another person that came in strong second, the ace of the universe, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, I get what you guys are probably going to say. Tanahashi's been number one, not for Talk for Glory, but he's like number one in the world for New Japan, maybe for Wrestling Observer Live. What did he do in 2020 that was so great? And I want to say that Tanahashi had such an amazing year, going from the never openweight champion, beating Shingo Takagi, to facing Shingo Takagi last minute in the Tokyo Dome for the World Championship, for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And finally, to cap off the year, he won the IWGP United States Championship. Also making history, him being the first Japanese to win the U.S. Championship. And finally, the third guy that came close but just couldn't reach it for number one. The best bout machine, the cleaner, Kenny Omega. Now, I get you, a lot of people are big fans of Kenny, big fans of AEW. But there was just one person. There was literally one person in our top 10 list, top 5 list that just sits above the rest. I'm sorry to say, he sits above our Commonwealth Kingpin. He sits above the Ace. He sits above... Sorry, guys, yawning. There you go. Sorry. He sits above the cleaner, the best bout machine. Hell, he even sits above Don Callis, too. He sits on a throne, a way better throne than Xavier Woods. He is yours, mine, ours, everyone. The tribal chief, Roman Reigns. He is Talk for Glory's number one 2021 male superstar of the year. If anyone wants to debate me on how did Roman Reigns become our number one, I'd be more than happy to tell you. This man not only carried SmackDown, he carried all of WWE. Maybe I might be saying former Universal Champion, but Roman, I hope you get well soon. Hope you beat COVID. But congratulations on becoming number one. Some of my matches I enjoyed from Roman, there's a lot. Unfortunately, there's like a lot more that I can go over from Roman than Utami. But I'll go over a few. One of my favorite matches was Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. Not only was this, in my opinion, Cesaro's big step as the main eventer, or at least I thought it would be, it was also Cesaro's first ever world title match, singles match. Because I remember him being in the Elimination Chamber. I knew that Roman did not have an easy job facing the Swiss Superman. But my God, Cesaro gave it his all. I thought Cesaro would become a main eventer after this, but unfortunately he just fell down the card more and more. Another one of my matches that I loved, and you guys are going to be shocked at this one. I actually enjoyed Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Well, guys, first video, V4, Enigma V4 says he likes the Daniel Bryan match without Young Smooth being here. I liked the match of Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. It was Daniel Bryan's last match for the company, for WWE. Now he's in AEW. Now he's known as Bryan Danielson. But that match on SmackDown, not only has Roman carried the WWE through the pandemic along with Drew McIntyre in 2020, he carried... Whoops. Sorry, guys. Having some audio issues. One moment. Okay, I'm back. And not only did he carry WWE through the pandemic, along with Drew McIntyre in 2020, in 2021, Roman Reigns just was the man. How is it that Monday Night Raw sucks in general, but how is it that you have such a strong impact on SmackDown that if you go one episode without Roman Reigns, the quality decreases immensely? Now, don't get me wrong. We have so many great talents. We have the Usos in the tag division. We got the New Day. Those two are always putting on classics. We have Shinsuke Nakamura with a shitty IC title run. I don't care, guys. Trust me. I've been shitting on Shinsuke with the championship for quite some time now. We have a lot of people on SmackDown. We have Sami Zayn doing Sami Zayn things. We have Brock Lesnar without Paul Heyman. We have all these people. Now, if Roman Reigns is not in the building, how is it that all those great things I just listed cannot compare how bad SmackDown sucks? Roman Reigns has carried the WWE, has carried SmackDown, and he is yours, mine, our tribal chief. And I can't wait to see the rest of his reign. Honestly, I think he also dodged a bullet by not facing Brock. Not saying I'm glad he got COVID. I'm saying that I'm glad that WWE found an alternative for Brock to do something. In the last 24 hours, Brock winning the WWE Championship has had heads spinning. Everyone's in uproar. And honestly, I'm actually looking forward to Brock as WWE Champion. I thought it's quite funny. But I'll get more on that maybe on another day. So I'll get back to Roman Reigns, but let me go back to the runner-ups. First, let me start by saying this person didn't get Match of the Year for Talk for Glory, but they came close. Will Ospreay versus Ricky Knight Jr. for the British Heavyweight Championship for both belts. That match was pretty good. It's not my best Will Ospreay match that I normally enjoy, but the aftermath was amazing. Having Aussie Open, if you guys don't know who Aussie Open is, look them up. Joining the United Empire and Will Ospreay holding both versions of the Rev Pro British World Heavyweight Championship above the fallen Ricky Knight Jr. and the Young Guns and Utah, I forgot his last name, guys, but sorry. But seeing just that image was amazing. Another thing I enjoyed from all this is Will Ospreay keeping the whole unpinned, unsubmitted, undefeated whole gimmick moniker. And now he'll be main eventing the Tokyo Dome January 5th. Don't worry, guys. Our Wrestle Kingdom predictions video will be coming out tomorrow, actually. So please look forward to that. I have so much to say. Now, just to give you guys a little heads up, we may or may not have a special guest for our Wrestle Kingdom video. Next person, Hiroshi Tanahashi. His best match was him versus Jay White for the Never Openweight Championship. Now, the reason why that match was good was I believe Jay White is the greatest seller in New Japan Pro Wrestling. When it comes to working an angle or just overreacting to something as if he's like just on the brink of passing out, He does it like no one else. Jay White selling the dragon corkscrews, very nice. And I really liked the idea of Tanahashi with the never openweight championship because he never gets old, never gets tired, and never gives up. But ever since the Switchblade came back, he lost to Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom, I want to say 11 or 12. Someone correct me. He lost the first time. He could not capture the Intercontinental Championship, but every other time the Ace and the Switchblade go at it, whether it be for the Never Openweight Championship or the World Championship, the Switchblade keeps coming out on top. Even if it's Tanahashi coming back from an injury and he thinks, let me try Switchblade one more time. He can't do it. So that was my favorite match for Tanahashi. And number one, best match of the year, goes to Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page, AEW Full Gear. The greatest story told match in AEW history. I cannot tell you enough how much I was cheering for Hangman. I swear, I think it would have broken my heart if Hangman lost some way, somehow. I understand that Kota Ibushi is the only man to kick out of Kenny Omega's one-winged angel, but I really do believe that if Kenny had hit the one-winged angel on Hangman, I think Hangman should have been the second person ever in history to kick out of the one-winged angel. There were so many things in this match that were just so specifically good and detailed. Whether it be Kenny's multiple V-triggers and Hangman just flipping him off, or the buckshot lariats, or Kenny just finding ways to get out of the way, whether it be shoving the ref, hitting the floor, or getting out of the ring. Even before the match, the promo to Hangman getting in the building was amazing. Kenny Omega's entrance and seeing that one fan with the sign that says, "What would Kota think?" was just amazing. I don't know whether that was planted or not, but it was amazing. And then the icing on top for all this was the final minute of Hangman versus Kenny. And it's the Young Bucks coming out, looking at Hangman, and I would assume remembering his words on AEW Rampage, threatening the Young Bucks that if they touch him, he would ruin them. But I also believe that it was I'm sorry, Hangman, go for the win, you've earned it. And for anyone who watched New Japan prior, a match with Kenny's former partner, Golden Lover's partner, Kota Ibushi, it was Kota Ibushi versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. You already know, guys, he's great in whatever company he goes to. But it was Kenny Omega ringside for AJ Styles. And as Kota Ibushi is about to go on top and hit his finisher, the Phoenix Splash at the time, he wasn't using the Kamigoye. Kenny hops on top of the apron, and the greatest stare down between Ibushi and Kenny happens that night. And I got that same feeling looking at the Young Bucks and Hangman just stare at each other for a millisecond. But you know what? Congratulations, Kenny. You didn't get best wrestler, but yeah, lived up to your name this time of best bout. You got the best match of the year. You got the best match of 2020. Now, before I go back to our tribal chief, I want to say this. Thank you, everyone who watches this. I understand it's around 7:20, 7:23 around my time. So wherever you guys are, thanks for watching this. Remember, guys, if you haven't already, drop a like, drop a sub. You can follow me on all of my socials, even Young Smooths. You can follow me on Twitter at Enigma_V4_. You can find my Instagram being Enigma_V4. You can follow Young Smooth's Twitter at YoungSmoothTFG. We also have a Spotify. I don't know if we're going to be using that, but it's always going to be there. So if, God forbid, something happens to Talk for Glory on YouTube, we'll be there. You can also follow me on my TikTok. I post a lot of wrestling on there. I get a lot of views there. I really appreciate every single one of them. My TikTok's just EnigmaV4. But yeah, back to our tribal chief. So my favorite match of all time with Roman Reigns of 2021 is Roman Reigns, and you guys will be surprised at this one. He makes it again. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. My favorite match of 2021 with Roman Reigns. That match was set up perfectly. Now, you can ask Young Steve about this. I was livid at Daniel Bryan being added to the triple threat at WrestleMania. Was not a fan of it. I was the first one saying, hell no, we don't need Daniel Bryan to repeat that WrestleMania. I forgot what year it was. Like that is how much I strongly dislike Daniel Bryan, guys. Like I do not like to remember the WrestleMania that he beat Evolution. But that match was set up perfectly. I couldn't tell whether Edge was heel or face, but I do know one thing. He wanted the Universal Championship more than anything. Daniel Bryan wanted one more match in the main event scene. He got it. But if there was such a thing as the perfect match with the perfect winner, it was this match. It was Daniel Bryan versus Edge versus Roman Reigns, where Roman Reigns pins both Edge and Daniel Bryan. He stacked them. He pinned them. 1, 2, 3. Our tribal chief retains the Universal Championship to go on to have this monstrous, this great Universal Championship run. I want to say he's definitely the greatest Universal Champion since the title's existence. And I remember a couple years back, prior to Talk for Glory, me and Young Smooth weren't fans of Roman Reigns, but we are definitely enjoying the tribal chief right now. Now, guys, thank you everyone that heard my video. Congratulations again to Utami Haya Shishida on becoming our female best wrestler of 2021. Congratulations to Roman Reigns. Hope you get well soon. Hope you beat COVID fast. And remember, guys, drop a like, drop a sub, follow those social medias. Have a great New Year's, and have a good night.